So first off, let's talk about don't aim for only short form content. So for a while, many companies did a hard pivot to only short form content on social. So shorter vids, 20 seconds or less, small blog posts under 1,000 words. And this isn't to say don't do that type of content. It's still going to be very effective, but this is more so to say, don't be afraid to try out some more long form stuff. So what does this mean for Ceros experiences? This means you can make them a bit longer, especially by following the tip that I previously talked about of introducing interactive elements to just help simplify it. But for social posts, this might mean longer copy. It might mean those storytelling carousels that Sandra just talked about. If targeted correctly and your content's quality and relevant, people will pay attention no matter what. Some telltale signs of this are just the changes we're seeing directly in the channels themselves. So most of us here are probably on LinkedIn, which is still a really great place to grow organically, by the way. And I know you've seen these super long blocks of copy and posts detailing a certain topic, and they're from maybe a personality or a LinkedIn influencer. But I'm betting that the algorithm put some stuff in front of you that was pretty relevant, and you actually read it and saved it because it was quality. The length actually helped with that quality there. Same thing on Twitter. I know they just expanded the length to about 10,000 characters max if you're verified, which is obviously a huge push from before it was just 280 character limit. And so these platforms themselves are embracing longer form content now. And you should too, if the circumstances are right. Just do some testing, see how it works out. Next, don't prioritize quantity over quality. So gone are the days of just publishing tons of average content, hoping that those mass amounts will just take over and make the impact you want. So if the Ceros experience you create is quality and makes the points your brand's trying to convey, it's worth the effort to actually make it stand out. And then you can use that as an anchor for additional posts and ideas. Here's a couple of screenshots of an example. We ran a campaign on the importance of humanizing your digital experience. So obviously a pretty complex topic at face value. Instead of just making a ton of smaller blogs about the concept, we started with one very in-depth checklist that people could unlock. And then from there, added a couple other great interactive pieces. One that highlights brands doing it best. We did some interactive listicles. But this allowed us to work more effectively, knowing we'd be driving people to something that they would not regret clicking over to, especially via social. And now one studio tip that I definitely recommend with this, if you need to do more volume, is utilizing templates. So with the templates, helps you create that perfect balance between quality and quantity. Since everything will be on brand in the template and interactive, you can just easily duplicate things and make multiple versions that can be tweaked. This will save you time by helping you just push out more high quality content faster. And then the last don't is don't overspend in the short term. So this one relates heavily towards the paid media side of things. I'm sure we've all been there in this situation where at some point, usually midway through or towards the end of the quarter, there's a big push to try and beat your goals. And someone always asks, what paid campaigns can we run, right? We always default to the paid marketing budget. Now, well, there's always the chance you can make that impact that's desired at the end of the day. A lot of times it's just going to fall flat. And here's a couple reasons why. So one, you're already at a disadvantage from the start as it's going directly against how the paid platforms work. The more time something's running, the more machine learning the platforms can do, and the better performing the campaign is going to be. So these short-term sprints are setting you up to overspend on whatever your main KPI might be. And then two, paid media should be viewed more as a tool to push your long-term vision. So that short-term sprint puts you in the position to look a bit inconsistent, which isn't something you want to look like, especially to the audience that a lot of these short-term sprints ends up going towards, which is that more bottom funnel buyer ready crowd. So at the end of the day, just try not to overspend on the short-term campaigns.